What's going on, Summoners? 2021's just getting started, and we're super excited to talk about everything that we know is coming to the Wild Rift in the coming months. We've got champions, skins, events, and more, so make sure to stick around until the end. First up, Riot 2021's opening livestream covered a lot of stuff, so let's spend some time unpacking it all. Our biggest news is the arrival of the North American servers in March. This might come as a disappointment to some people, especially since the plan was to have every server up earlier in this year, but with all the hurdles that we had in 2020 to overcome, I'm just happy that we don't have to wait until the summer and at least it's on the horizon. I don't necessarily mind the delay, but the Wild Rift community brings up a valid concern regarding all the cool stuff that we've actually missed up until now. Things like the KDA event and free champion giveaways won't actually be experienced by the newer crowd on NA servers. Luckily, Riot said that they're planning to help our player base with a way to catch up. Maybe we'll have some sort of bonus events or just get some free champion picks of our own right off the bat, but we won't get to experience all of Season 1, but there should be enough time to join halfway through regardless. Before we talk about the rest of the early year news, I need to tell you about our special ProGuides giveaway going on right now. From now until the 14th, we're giving away a bunch of skins for all of your favorite champions in Wild Rift. All you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, click that little bell right now, and then join our community Discord linked in the description down below. Everything else is in the giveaway section of the Discord, so click on that, check out the rules, and join in on the fun. Okay, so back to the news. For all your ranked players, Riot knows that their system isn't as good as it can be currently. One of the biggest differences between Wild Rift and League is that there's no role selection in Wild Rift, which makes playing what you're good at much harder to do. Patch 2.0 introduces a new party finder system where you can make lobbies for friends and new faces to join. I've already seen some ranked lobbies available to join, and I was finally able to play support in every single game, which feels so much better than getting autofilled. If you don't feel like committing to a group to play your main role though, Riot said that they're going to bring in some sort of role selection into the game later on. This is great news for everyone, giving you the opportunity to play what you enjoy playing. My guess is that we'll see the draft system finally put into the game around the same time that the NA servers come online in March. It would just line up with the release schedule. In League, players have gotten used to the pick and ban system in Ranked, so we'll most likely see a similar system in Wild Rift as well. But for now, make use of the large party size and queue up with as many friends as possible for the highest chance of winning. Speaking of League, Riot stated that Wild Rift is meant to be an authentic League of Legends experience, with unique changes and adjustments based on the mobile game genre. This might not sound like much, but we can speculate a lot based off of Riot's approach to the game so far. We've already had a bunch of abilities get big changes, like Ashe's ult being controllable, and some of these changes just feel better, and there's lessons to be learned for both games because of this. By the end of the year, Wild Rift will feel much more like an alternative version of League and less like a mobile version of the game. With every change that happens, the Wild Rift won't bore players with old systems that we've gotten accustomed to on the PC version. Before we move on to talking about the champions of Wild Rift, our question of the day is, what are you hoping to see in Wild Rift during 2021? This can be literally anything, a champion, a skin, emote. I really hope to see more lore focused events in the future. Anything with Yordles, I'm a fan of. During the live stream, we also got some exciting news about the champions that are coming to Wild Rift. Riot plans to release at least 2 champions a month for the game, kind of like they used to do when League of Legends was first starting off. We've got at least 100 champions left to join the cast, and Riot confirmed that Katarina and Rammus are going to be the next to join Wild Rift. When porting over Katarina, playtesters found that they were accidentally canceling her ult way too often, and this is mostly because of how easy it is to accidentally move in the game, and touching anything on the screen would literally cancel the animation. So to solve this issue, Katarina can actually now slowly move herself around while channeling her ultimate, Beyblading around the battlefield until she gets another reset. Yep, now there's 2 Samiras. This is mostly a quality of life change, and my guess is that the rest of Katarina's kit will stay the same. She's a mobile assassin with a lot of burst, being rewarded every time someone dies on the enemy team. If you don't focus her down quickly enough, she'll never stop teleporting around, so make sure to save some CC for her whenever she arrives in the Wild Rift. And speaking of CC, the next champion Rammus is a tank with a need for speed. Unlike his League of Legends version, in Wild Rift, he will now passively roll around the rift, gaining movement speed to make ganks easier. If you thought that that was cool, his new ultimate actually lets him jump into the air and land in an area, dealing damage and slowing enemies around him. The strength of this skill is determined by his movement speed, so you'll be rewarded for ramping up your passive before a fight starts. Rammus is a much older champion in League of Legends, and this Wild Rift version is a great example of modifying a champion without making them lose the key parts of their identity. Riot mentioned that Rammus is up for a minor update in League as well, and honestly my guess is that we'll probably see some version of this teamfighting ultimate in the new update, and I think the passive would be kind of cool to see as well. Meanwhile, Dr. Mundo is getting a huge update in League of Legends as well, and we should expect to see this new version of him in Wild Rift. It might not seem like it, but designing champions with two different games in mind helps create a better identity for the character overall. If something works in Wild Rift but feels bad in League of Legends, there's probably a good reason. Giving champions new mechanics will pave the way for reworks and updates, and I can't wait to see who else is coming to both games. Moving on to item changes, a lot of players were surprised to see that League's totally new item system wasn't actually ported over to Wild Rift. Riot announced during their live stream that this system will slowly make its way over and will include new items and updates along the way. This does make sense, and the two totally different item systems are the biggest disconnect currently between the games. If the League item shop does come to Wild Rift, will we still keep some of the huge changes that we have right now? The boot system is the first thing that comes to mind, with enchantments replacing some extremely important active abilities, and that can get kind of messy. I really hope that Riot doesn't try to make the two item shops too similar. I kind of like that they're unique. The shop is a great place to keep major changes, making both games feel unique without having totally different champions. Moving on to game modes, my favorite part of the live stream was when they announced the Howling Abyss coming to Wild Rift. Personally, I love ARAMs. They're so much fun to play with friends, and it'll be a great way to unwind when the Rift games get boring. ARAM games are pretty short in League, so we should expect them to last 5 to 10 minutes in Wild Rift. This is going to be great over my lunch breaks. This low commitment time frame will make ARAMs highly spammable and easy to finish without necessarily getting you too distracted. In League, ARAM has a totally different balancing system for champions, so I'm wondering if Riot will do the same with Wild Rift as well, tuning stats and abilities to make sure that no one is too oppressive. And the arrival of ARAMs means that we might see other fun game modes as well, like Nexus Blitz and Earth. These short, fast-paced matches already fit well with the mobile game standard, so I don't think we'll need to wait too long for some of those to come in as well. Alright, so let's move on to the skins and events that are coming later on in this year. We already know a bit about the newest Yordle expansion coming out sometime later this week, and where you'll be able to pick up 5 new champions from Vandal City. The champions are Teemo, Corki, Lulu, Tristana, and Kennen. The event will last for the next few weeks, giving away champs, skins, goodies, and a way to follow the crew on their journey throughout Runeterra. We even got to see a cinematic with the gang of Yordles rescuing Teemo and causing a little bit of trouble for Twisted Fate and Graves. Tristana got caught on the front lines, Lulu's rock saved the day, and the team is ready to go on another adventure to Wild Rift. My favorite part was seeing the actual portals that the Yordles take through Runeterra. That was a nice touch. Riot said that 2021 is all about combining the lore and events that are happening across the different games and platforms, so we should expect to see some cross-game events later this year. The first confirmed event is between League of Legends and Wild Rift during the Lunar New Year event. Riot confirmed that we'll be sharing some skins, and Miss Fortune will be getting her own skin exclusive to Wild Rift. I'm a big fan of unique cosmetics, and new content in Wild Rift proves that Riot plans to invest their own resources into the game. It would feel bad to only get recycled content from League of Legends after all, rather than standalone content. The next two events are supposed to be based around the Shadow Isles and Targon. Shadow Isles makes sense, especially with everything that's already happening currently around the newest League of Legends champion, Viego, and I wonder if we'll get to see him and some of the other Ruined King lore stuff in Wild Rift. As for Targon, I'm guessing that we'll see some of the most iconic champions show up from League of Legends, like Taric and Zoe. Taric is a tanky support who can make his own teammates invulnerable, which would bring a totally new mechanic to the game, but honestly I think his kit would actually fit on mobile pretty well. Meanwhile, Zoe also brings gameplay to the Rift, picking up summoner spells and introducing the sleep mechanic into the game. Riot made it clear that their goal with the new releases is to bring fresh experiences, so expect to see some more exciting champions come to the game first. And if you thought that we wouldn't get any other exclusive skins, Riot did announce that they're going to release a Wild Rift themed skin line later this year. If we know we're going to get separate cosmetics, this might be the first step towards eventually having a unique Wild Rift champion. It's of course hard to know for sure, but some kind of touchscreen character could definitely make an appearance when we least expect it. And the final event-related news confirmed that we'll get something that involves two powerful champions clashing against each other. To quote directly from the live stream, later, two of League's deadliest champions will face off and hopefully settle the score once and for all. If this is about skins, we've got a lot of options from the League of Legends universe. The Dawn and Nightbringer skin line is about an endless battle between good and evil, and the first champions to get these skins were Riven and Yasuo. Who knows, maybe we'll get to see Riven in the game later this year. Another battle-centered skin line is God King with legendary skins for Darius and Garen. This might be what they're talking about since both of these bruisers are already in the game Wild Rift. If we aren't talking about skins, I have a feeling we'll see the release of Rengar and Kha'Zix sometimes later in this year. These assassins are certainly deadly, and it would fit the description perfectly since they're always on the hunt for each other. Both of these guys use stealth and high physical burst damage to instantly blow up squishy champions, taking over the game with fear. Also, in case you missed it, there were a few things highlighted during the live stream that impact the way the game is played. We already talked a bit about one of them being Party Finder, a new system where you can party up with friends or strangers to grind out some games. But if you want to start the ranked season right, we suggest that you take some time to explore the different lobbies before queuing up alone. Season 1 will be way easier to play if you main your role more often. Grind your way to gold to unlock the first ranked exclusive skin, Glorious Tryndamere. To help you communicate better, Riot is also introducing a new ping reply system into the game. This way you can let your team know that you've heard a ping and plan to do something about it. Communication and quick decision should be easier to make now that you can talk without necessarily needing to type everything in the chat box. And that's going to be everything that we've got coming into the first real season of Wild Rift. Riot has some big plans for 2021, including NA servers, champion skins, and balance changes. This is the biggest year for Wild Rift, so make sure to sub to the channel to stay up to date on everything coming out. Also, don't forget to join the Discord and sign up for a giveaway if you're interested. Free stuff's always fun, right? Thanks so much for watching, good luck on the Rift, and stay hydrated. Take care, everybody.